Good morning, Yankees Nation. This is Ken, and you're here with the ugly truth. Today, we're going to do a Mariners and Yankees season or series review. Then we're going to open it up to the chat to come on for the open panel portion of my stream. Yes, the Yankees did win the series 2-1 versus the Mariners. Good thing. The series was good in some ways, bad in others, and very ugly to say the least. Some trends that I'm noticing that are a little bit disturbing to me. Would like to see improvements prior to us locking it up with the Mets this weekend. I'm going to do a little bit of house cleaning or housekeeping, house clean, with regard to the events that are going to happen this week. We had coffee and bagels with Joe this morning at 8:00, and right now we are doing the normal Thursday show. Tomorrow I'm going to have a series preview of the Mets and the Yankees at 1:30, and then on Friday, Joe and I are going to be hosting the Friday Mets game, Yankees versus the Mets versus the Yankees in the Bronx. So we'll be streaming that live. Keep your eyes up, open for notifications and whatnot, because they'll be coming. I think Joe is planning on doing another live stream this afternoon. I don't have the numbers and the times on that. More to follow. I may drop a short to give him a shout out. Before I start, see that we've got some folks here, and I'm going to give a shout out to CT Cards, Stephen B., Sean Browning, and Merck So Saucy. Thank you for being here. I appreciate y'all supporting this channel as usual. The stream wouldn't even exist unless y'all were here. So thank you for sharing time with me this morning. And we'll jump right into see another person hopping in. Hey, FJ, how's it going? Going to go over the series game by game, and I'll give you some opinions, and then we'll open it up for people to jump up on the open panel. I'm dragging butt a little bit today. My wife ended up flying to Texas for some family personal business that she had to take care of. But needless to say, I was up at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm dragging a little bit of butt. So if I'm not my normal cheery self, that's why. And if nobody wants to come up and participate in the open panel, I will shut it down fairly quickly. Been doing a lot of streaming lately and plan on continuing to do so. So, info note for everybody out there: we actually reached the mark of 90 subscribers yesterday. So I appreciate everyone out there who subscribed. And as you can see, the banner running on this stream, please hit the like buttons, subscribe to Yankees The Ugly Truth if you're not already subscribed, and share this out with other folks. All right, we're going to hop right into it. Game 1. Hey, Jason, glad to see you hopping on. Game 1 for the Yankees featured Clark Schmidt going up against Everson Hancock. The Yankees took Game 1 11-5. Hancock only pitched 5 innings. He gave up 8 hits, 4 walks, 7 earned runs, 3 homers, and he struck out 5. Hey, Lou, thank you. R. Clark Schmidt came out and he showed up, gave us 6 innings pitched, only gave up 3 hits, a couple of walks, and he gave up 3 earned runs. He gave up 2 homers, and he had 6 strikeouts. The bullpen accounted for 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 2 earned runs. We had Leiter, Williams, Hamilton, and Hill make bullpen appearances. Leiter, Williams, and Hamilton had shutdown innings. Didn't give up jack. Tim Hill got roughed up. He only pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up a hit, gave up a base on ball, and gave up a homer. The offense was on fire. Offense ended up massing 15 hits. We had 7 walks, scored 11 runs, but we had 9 strikeouts. Standouts in the game for game 1. Trent Grisham. It was a 2-homer game for him. And everyone in the lineup actually got a hit. Morning, Real Bill. Thanks for hopping in. Hope your lecture went well. If you're done with it, the Yankees. The trend that I've been noticing and has been concerning to me is the Yankees are great against average pitchers, and Emerson Hancock is definitely average, possibly below average, and we beat the tar out. Well, hey Dev, thanks for jumping in the stream. We had 2 quality pitchers that we faced up against, and we split. We went 1-1 and didn't do so well against them. For game 2, we had our ace, Max Fried, going up against their ace, Brian Wu. We ended up losing the game 2-1 in 11 innings. Max Fried pitched 5 innings. He gave up 4 hits, 2 walks, 1 earned run, and he had 5 strikeouts on the night. Wu had 6 1/3 innings pitched. He gave up 4 hits, no walks. He didn't give up any earned runs, and he had 6 strikeouts. Hey Joe, thanks for hopping on, brother. Appreciate you being here. The long and short, the bullpen held its own for the most part. We had Cruz, Leiter, Weaver, Williams, and Tim Hill pitch for us in relief. The bullpen pitched 5 innings. Actually, 5 innings. Gave it 4 hits, no walks, and gave up 1 run. Cruz, Leiter, Williams, and Weaver had shutdown innings. They locked it up. Tim Hill for the second game ended up giving up 2 hits, a run. The run was the ghost runner, and he ended up taking the loss. So over the games 1 and 2, Tim Hill has gotten roughed up. Why is that? Is he tired? Is he not locating right? I don't know, but he is not pitching up to the form that he did last season, and that's concerning for me and probably for other Yankee fans. Offensively, on game 2, we were anemic. We only mustered 5 hits. We had 3 walks, 1 earned run, and we struck out in customary form 13 times. The figures that were alarming and pissed me off actually were we left 11 runners on base in that game. So it's not like we didn't have the opportunity to score. We had 14 runners in scoring position, and we went 0 for 14. Piss poor situational hitting. And once again, high strikeouts. The two formulas for disaster for the Yankees. I'm going to bring up a comment from Real Bill. We have to be productive in the batter's box with runners in scoring position. Our pitching has been above average. Shit. We do have weak spots in the rotation, but I like where we are. I don't disagree with you, Bill, and I'll go into that more here in a bit. The inability to score with runners in scoring position is a major concern. We are going to come up against a team this weekend, the Mets, who have a plus 62 run scoring differential for the opponents that they've faced. So that means that they score a boatload of runs. And we are at a plus 82. We score a boatload of runs, but it seems to be in short stints, i.e. the blowout games. But this series, we ended up losing one game 2-1, and we won another game 3-2. So in two games, we ended up scoring 4 total runs, and most of them are attributed to the long ball, which is the other concern that I have is with the poor situational hitting and the ability to bring runners in scoring position, we are becoming that reliant team on the home run. In the regular season, sure, that can play. When we come into the postseason, we're going to see those tier 1/aces, and that's not going to play against them. So we have to figure it out sooner than later if we're going to have any success in the postseason, with the hope of returning to the World Series and possibly finally claiming number 28 for us. For game 3, we had Will Warren going up against Luis Castillo. Castillo went 6 innings. He gave up 6 hits, 2 base on balls, 1 earned run, and he had 6 strikeouts. Our Will Warren went 5 innings. He gave up 4 hits, 2 walks, and or 1 walk, 2 earned runs, and 9 strikeouts. Out of our bullpen ended up pitching 4 innings in yesterday's game. They gave up 2 hits, a base on balls, no runs, and 6 strikeouts. Tyler Matzik, Ian Hamilton, Fernando Cruz, and Luke Weaver all pitched clean slates. They pretty much locked down the Mariners' offense, and good things happen. Our offense yesterday, we ended up having 9 hits, 2 walks. We had 3 earned runs, but once again, we had 12 strikeouts. So in 2 games, we ended up with 25 total strikeouts, which is ridiculous. In yesterday's game, Judge was the only player who had multiple hits. We had home runs from Goldie and Judge, and we had 3 doubles. Belly in the first inning, Volpe and Dominguez. And our big hits didn't come until after Castillo left. As in game 2, the team has had the ability to go up against top flight bullpens. Munoz in game 2 is the best closer in baseball at this point. He has 13 saves, and at that point he had 14 opportunities. So he converted 13 out of 14 until game 2. But we were able to score a run off of him, and in the ninth, and he ended up blowing the save. So we got to the best closer in baseball. And yesterday, when Goldie came in against a bullpen arm, he hit that massive shot that tied the game up for us. It gave Judge the opportunity to come in and be the hero and hit the 8th inning home run. The numbers for the series that stand out most in my mind is that the Yankees went 5 for 33 with runners in scoring position over the 3 games. That means that we're scoring 15% of the runs that are actually in scoring position, and that is sub-pitiful. We left 28 runners on base, and that's a small village comparatively. That's a lot of runners to leave on base. And when we face other top flight teams, that's something that just doesn't translate well to wins. The Yankees have won the last 3 series in a row, which is great. And the hottest team in baseball was the Seattle Mariners. They had won 9 out of 10 series consecutively, and we just put the second series loss on them. So, kudos. Not Nancy negative, but just point things out to be concerned, because, as the channel says, we are the ugly truth. And I don't live in fantasy land. Things that stand out in my mind's eye for this series are two of our pitchers that have been classed as not so good, not worthy of being in the rotation for the Yankees, and horrible. The pitchers that I'm talking about are Clark Schmidt and Will Warren. Both of those guys stood up big in this series. They held us in the games, and long and short, they are pitching. Schmidt coming off of basically no spring training. He had 2 rehab starts down at AA Somerset, and then he was thrown to the fire here at the major league level. His first 3 games weren't very impressive. His last outing, he started to look like he had come back to form. He stayed out of the middle of the plate, had good control on the points, and I think that Clark has turned the corner, and we're going to see good things out of him, giving us our solid 3rd starter. The second one is Will Warren. Over the last 2 games, Warren has had his career highs at the major league level for strikeouts. He had 8 in the last series against the A's, and he had 9 against a very good hitting Mariners team. Is he going to be this pitcher? He's given us a lot more length, because prior to this, he was only pitching into the 4th and usually getting pulled. Is this the pitcher that he is going to be, or has he turned the corner and started to figure things out at the major league level? I think that the pitching has turned around significantly. We've had a few hiccups in the bullpen. Devin Williams has come on in 4 out of his last 5 appearances and been locked down. Maybe the streak is over and he gets back to form, the pitcher that we traded for. Will Warren, of course, or not Will Warren. Dreamweaver has been all that he's advertised and has been locked down for us. In all of his appearances, he's only given up 1 earned run. So what more can you ask for from a back end of the bullpen guy? than what he's been providing. All right, that's pretty much my review for the series, and I am going to open it up for the open panel. I'm dropping the link right now, so hop up if you would, and let's talk baseball. What is everybody's expectations with regard to this upcoming Mets series? How do you think we'll fare? Do you think that we'll end up getting swept, sweeping, go 1-2, or go 2-1? All right, we see Sean hopping up, and I will bring his cheery face up so that he can share some wisdom with y'all. Morning, Sean. Thank you for joining the stream.
Good
Appreciate
morning,
it.
kid. Yeah, like you said, the situational hitting was like it's hit and miss, and it's all season. Like we'll blur out where everybody gets involved, and we're knocking it at them. Scored 10, 15 runs, a lot of them on small ball. But then we'll have other games where we're like 4 for 10 or not even that for situational hitting. Our runners in scoring position is like terrible. But we're grinding out wins, so that's one good thing.
All right, I'm going to bring up a couple of comments. First one is from Dev Finch. He hopes that the Yankees sweep. Okay, that would be a beautiful thing, and I would like that. And the comment from FJ is, I am not optimistic. Okay. I can understand that after we took 4 beatings last year, but this Yankee team isn't the team of 2024.
Well,
and the last comment I'm going to bring up is from Joe.
We're a lot better team. We're some team than we were last year. And when we were facing the Mets last year, Soto was semi-injured. Stanton. We had a lot of people injured, but I'm saying that to excuse what us not showing up. But that was the beginning of our problems when we faced the Mets. But I would love to get paid against the Mets this weekend.
All right.
It would be really sweet. But I wouldn't be surprised if we took a 3.
The comment from Joe at NY Yankees Media, I don't believe there's going to be a sweep on either side this year. Okay, Sean just disappeared. The Yankees have a 65% chance of winning 2 out of 3. And the comment from Lou is, we go 1-2. All right, fair enough. Definitely reasons for some concern, some reasons for optimism. For me, I think that we take 2 out of 3. Several reasons. I like our pitching matchups against the Mets in this series. The Yankees are going to have Carlos Rodon locking it up in Game 1, Clark Schmidt in Game 2, and on 4 days of rest, Max Fried will be on the Sunday night game. The Yankees are going to have the pleasure of Joe and myself doing the play-by-play on together on Friday and Sunday, and if we have our standard luck, we pull out a win. Prior to yesterday's game, when Joe and I have called games, the Yankees have scored over 10 runs in each of our calls and have over 10 hits. So we're hoping that, that that little bit of superstitious stuff goes on. Plus, Joe's going to have the Yankee lamp lit and shining bright uh, at his location. So, you know, all the luck, all the luck counts. All right, I see Sean. All right, Lou, I see a comment. Freed is optimism. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Could you clarify it for me a little bit? Welcome back.
Yeah. I don't know if they're just hoping that Freed may pitch on a shorter rest for one of the games against the Mets, or just in general.
All right, a couple more comments on predictive analytics. Real Bill P says, I smell a sweet 3-0 Yankees. If the scoring is low, we win it. We can't get into a home run derby with them.
Well,
And Stephen B, I suspect 2 out of 3 of the Mets were better than last year and healthier. I'm assuming that's 2 out of 3 wins by the Yankees over the Mets. But if I'm wrong, let me know.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
you don't
the
like Rodon, Lou? You don't like Rodon's start against them? Go ahead, Sean.
Oh yeah, no, I was saying, yeah, I would love a sweep of the Mets, but I don't, I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm more expecting a 2 out of 3 against the Mets, us winning 2 out of 3, obviously. But and then also the other thing, Rodon's been pitching well for us, better than what his record indicates. I mean, yeah, he's always been a guy that's prone for a home run or two, but I mean, most pitchers are nowadays. Um, he's a power pitcher. He's kind of like that Wells pedigree. You know, he's got like 3 or 4 pitches, and he's a guy that throws hard, and people just hit fly balls. And Yankee Stadium is a fly ball park.
And I see that CT is hopping into the stream. CT, if you want to come up, I'm dropping the link once again. Hop and join us now that your dog has relieved itself and you're back in Happy Land.
Yeah. But also the thing with Rodon, I mean, he's been giving us 6 innings every time he's came out. Just the matter of how many mistakes did he make during it. And also the question with Rodon starts is, which offense is going to show up on his starts? Are we going to get the anemic offense, or are we going to get the 5+ runs?
Well, I will tell you what. Hey, Jonathan, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here, brother. If you have the time, I just dropped the link so you can jump up and join us and talk some baseball. I think the Soto appearance back in the Bronx is going to bring mixed emotions. My personal hopes and thoughts is that the Yankee fans don't get beyond stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I would love if we at least did this. The first time he's up, we give him a standing O to thank him for last year, for helping us get to the World Series, being clutch for us. After that, don't go past booing. Like, if you guys want to give him the Nomar treatment, go ahead. That's fine. But don't start throwing stuff on the field, acting acting like, a buffoon, getting yourself ejected and banned from ever enjoying a baseball game at the stadium again. I mean, some fans,
I mean, the long and short, Soto came to us via trade. There was no guarantee that he was coming back. He
right,
got a bag of cash swung in his face with a bunch of perks from the Mets, and he took the offer.
right.
The Yankees weren't willing to match him, and I'm fine with that. I
Yeah,
personally
and
think that if we re-sign Soto, that we're in third or fourth place, because
we,
I do not believe that we would have signed Max Fried, and without the wonderful
well,
start that he has had, uh,
I
Yankee
think,
rotation would have been in shambles, and we probably would have made a crap trade, giving up the farm to get somebody up in here.
yeah.
Uh,
Let's say if we played devil advocate, we re-signed Soto. We edged out the Mets and re-signed Soto. We were already working on a deal for Max Fried, so I think we would have signed him, probably traded for Cody Bellinger, and that would have been it. Or maybe
yep.
not even the Cody Bellinger. We probably would have maybe signed Goldie.
I think that if Bellinger or if Soto signs, that Ben Rice is our first baseman this season.
Right.
I don't think we reach out and grab Goldie. And Goldie,
No.
for all intents purposes, has been a godsend.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said,
Uh,
we were already close to getting a deal with Freed when Soto made his decision. You know, just wasn't public. But yeah. But like you said, we would have had Ben Rice. Um, and then the problem was, imagine who would have been our DH when Stanton went down.
reason the internet seems to be acting stupid at this particular moment, and I don't know
Yeah.
why.
I don't know either. It's
Uh,
just been kind of buffing and kicking and screaming, throwing a fit like a
well,
5-year-old.
we more freaking rain. It's shit weather as usual.
Yeah,
Usually
up and
my daytime connectivity is real good, but for some reason that's I'm not showing any errors. But we'll see
nah.
what we see.
Like you said, it's probably all. We got another wave of storms coming up and down the East Coast, so it might be interfering with the satellites and the connectivity.
Looking at the weather forecast for the series against the Mets, I think we're going to have decent weather and don't have to worry about any rainouts. So we'll play three and not have to worry about doing a day-night doubleheader either. Uh,
No,
for those of
and
you viewing the Mets series, we have games 1 and 2 uh, are going to be available through uh, MLB TV, Yes Network. So the standard viewing things. So that's definitely an option. If you're tuning into the stream, you'll be able to see the game too. The
yeah,
game that is not on normal MLB networks and whatnot is the Sunday night game, and that one is going to rest in ESPN's.
ESPN.
Yeah, Bill is in
I
Virginia also, and his comment is storing here again, Ken. Like always, I'm building a boat.
yeah. One
Uh,
thing with. Oh, go
but
ahead.
it should. It. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I'm shaking my head at the ESPN because the broadcast ever since Joe Morgan and um, what's his name, whatever, Bob Miller or whatever his name was that now does the play-by-play for the Giants. those two guys back in the 90s, they really were great. And ever since then, it's like, you know, I mean, other than
Yes.
the opening night game when Joe Buck called, I was like, all right. But that's Joe Buck, you know?
John Smoltz is definitely going to be calling the game, and he is a freaking Yankee hater. I can't stand that bastard. He was a great pitcher, but he ain't worth a shit as an announcer.
Yeah.
Welcome, CT. How you doing?
Good. Hey, we're talking about Smoltz. Yeah, I was just put that in the comments.
But
like,
then even
him.
yeah, but then even, you know, you got good analysis from David Cohn, and you got
I like David Cohn a lot.
even A-Rod. He really breaks things down, but then the play-by-play guy always wants to go off on these side bit rabbit holes instead of calling the game. And then they got the stupid ump cam. And I'm like, man, at least call the game. And then you got these anti-Yankee, these Yankee haters like John Smoltz.
And if you guys haven't read talking about David Cohn, check out his book. His book was really good. I've read it 3 times. It's a really good book.
That one that he wrote with Jack Curry.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely well worth the. I got it off of Amazon for $8 used. I love how they sell used books.
Hey, you know what? I mean, look, I bought dictionaries used. I a lot of the books I buy them from like those secondhand bookstores.
Me too.
Use the new one. I don't.
All right. Looking, was it Merck that said that rain for Saturday and Friday and Saturday? Yeah, I'm looking at the weather view, and they have rain as a possibility. It's 36% chance. So I'm not.
You know what?
I'm not really sweating Friday, and on Saturday it's 38% chance of rain.
Sometimes these forecasts are wrong, 60% of the time. But yeah, no,
so hence I can live with percentages for rain in the 30%.
Yeah. But then my other thought is, what are your thoughts on how our rotation has kind of righted itself so far, or at least the back end? I mean, Schmidt being his reliable Schmidt self, and now he's starting to get 6 innings instead of 5 2/3 all the time. And then, I mean, Warren, I'm patient with Warren, and he's starting to show he's got the big stuff. He's got the capability. He's got the big league stuff. Matter is him adjusting the pitchers and adjusting the hitters and that third time through.
Yeah, Schmidt had the same problem. You know, last year, I remember before Schmidt got injured, he had finally started to get to the third, round of the rotation or the lineup, and was starting to be able to go longer in games.
Yeah, and then Yarbo.
For me with
your arbs look good.
For me with regard to Warren, he seems to have turned the corner by adding a 2-seam fastball that he tends to throw up in the strike zone. There's a lot of run on it, and people are having a hard time catching up with it.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing with Warren, when Warren does not leave balls parked in the middle of the strike zone, good things happen. In his last appearance, he gave up 2 home runs, both of them solid shots, and both of them were cement mixer breaking balls that were right across the heart of the plate. They got hit, and they got hit hard. So if he can continue to keep out of the center of the plate, I think that he'll be all right.
Yeah. Imagine.
With regard to Yarbrough is a former starter. He is a junk baller extraordinaire, which is something that we truly don't have in this rotation.
No.
And he throws, I think, the third slowest fastball in Major League Baseball at like 86 miles an hour. But when you're throwing 73 mile an hour curveballs and he fires a 86 up in the zone, they aren't catching up to it.
No.
He's definitely a controlled pitcher, has always been, and relies on movement. And
but
filling in as a fifth starter for us because of the crap that we saw from Carrasco and Stroman, I think plays well.
Yeah,
because Stroman and Carrasco both didn't have high velocity stuff, but when they were throwing it, the shit was right in the middle of the plate and it got tagged consistently. And
they were.
We didn't get more than 4 innings out of them, and usually when we did get 4 innings out of them, we were behind by a truckload.
Yep. Yarb's given us 3. He pitched 9 innings in his total last 2 starts and only gave up 3 runs. So that's not bad. The first game was 4 innings pitched, 1 run he gave up, and the last start was 5 innings pitched, 2 runs given up. But if we can stretch him out, start getting 6 innings out of Yarbrough, that'd be really nice. But who's going to stay? When Hill comes back, is Yarb going to stay in the rotation, or are we going to keep Warren in the rotation?
He's probably going to bounce to the bullpen and be a long relief guy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because I mean, you've got a bunch of Tarzans in the bullpen that freaking throw heat. You need a Jane in there playing too, and he is certainly one that can throw hitters off.
Yeah. And then
so as far as the back end of the rotation, I'm not feeling bad whatsoever, and I'm liking the lockdowns. There are a couple of pitchers that are in the bullpen that are having issues. One of them being Tim Hill lately, and if he continues to struggle, I would not be surprised to see us part ways with him, similar to the pitcher that we had that was doing really well. I can't remember his name. Older guy. Everyone called him the teacher.
Mr. Belding, a.k.a. Mike Tonkin. We sent him to the Twins last trade deadline.
But long and short, we have plenty of bullpen arms in the minor leagues that are working rehabs to be back. Of our people that are up in the bullpen, De Los Santos, and Hamilton might be the only 2 that actually have options that could go down. But the way that Hamilton is bringing it lately, I don't see that happening. And with regard to De Los Santos, he has been a godsend when it comes to a long reliever. He's pitched a fair amount of innings, and he hasn't really given up any runs, and has tallied a fair amount of strikeouts. He's always near the plate, and he doesn't tend to walk people. And for me, I don't give a shit if you're throwing 88 or 108. If you're not walking people and they're not getting hard contact on you, that's what I want to see out of a bullpen arm. A lot of people last year were crapping tacos about Clay Holmes, and I was fine with him. For the first half of the season, he did great. And I mean, he blew some saves without a doubt, but he damn sure had a lot of help from our shit defense.
Gleyber
Torres, Verdugo had a 95% catch ball that he blew. Freaking choking in the late innings. cost us a game against the freaking damn Orioles.
But most of the time it was Gleyber Torres, Ole. Like, why are you so afraid of the ground ball coming at you? Get in front of it, get a glove on it, throw it out. Throw the runner out. I mean,
the interesting thing, Gleyber is doing a fantastic job there in Detroit. He's hitting over 300. Has got some pop back in his bat. So maybe Gleyber needed a change of venue and the lack of stress on the not being a Yankee anymore.
Yeah.
Granted, he only signed a 1-year deal. He cost himself a boatload of money and a contract with his crap play for the first half of the season with us. But I always thought that Gleyber was a quality bat. I was mixed bag on his defense.
Right.
He's one of those types of players, and then he gets a normal ground ball and throws the shit into the camera wall.
Right. Or he just lays it as it's going by him, and doesn't even get a glove on it.
And here's a comment from Merck So Saucy. You know what's crazy? He's only had one error with the Tigers this year.
Well, you know what?
It's
I
early.
credit that too. I credit that more with AJ Hinch don't play. And if he was doing the mental laziness that he did with us, he'd be on that pine in a heartbeat and wouldn't see the field.
Then a comment from Lou. He's always had a good bat, especially in the playoffs. And that is a damn fact of life.
Oh, yeah. No,
we are at the 45-minute point in the broadcast. So I'm going to put my info net out once again. If you haven't, please hit the like button. Subscribe to Yankees The Ugly Truth. If you're wanting to catch all the games, also hop in and subscribe to NY Yankee Mania with Joe, because we will be doing two of the games play-by-plays. The Saturday 105 game, I'm probably going to end up calling that one by myself, unless somebody wants to jump up and volunteer to possibly help. If not, I am more than capable.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate it if anybody to tune in and catch the game. I enjoy doing the play-by-plays.
Love you.
And I hope that y'all like listening to the play-by-plays. Including some of my bullshit when I start to lose my crap.
It's my favorite part, Ken. I love it.
Hey, you know what? I mean, I like it listening to play-by-plays.
But my wife would watch a lot of games with me before I started doing the play-by-plays. And her standard comment to me would be, if you were broadcasting for real, they'd fire you, because you can't cuss people out and tell them they're dumbasses on national TV or even local TV. I says, well, that's the Master Chief training in me. I don't know how to pull punches.
Oh yeah. Well, you know how it is.
Now, I'm not as crazy as Joe though. Joe goes on those rants that I know is quite entertaining. I'm not that extreme.
Well, imagine. I mean, you ever listen to the radio when John and Susan? My goodness, like times when I'm listening to the radio, and then like let's say the Yankees are being sloppy as all get out, right? John and Susan are ranting from like the sixth inning to they're still calling the game, but from like the sixth inning on, nothing but ranting from two all-time greats, but they're radio, so you're not really gonna fight. But imagine if they were on TV calling that game, and from the fifth inning on, you got to hit the ball.
All right. Comment from Merck So Saucy. This is something that we touched on.
Yep, lost sound.
Yeah. I think King kind of frozen a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one that I'm upset about that we
All right,
traded.
now we're back.
was-
It's like freaking magic. One thing that upsets me is that we traded Augustine Ramirez. That dude was a stud. Well, Merck, the Yankees had an excess of catchers. Would I have traded Ramirez? Hell no, because he was the best arm we had down there in the minors. Apparently, this kid that they've got, Rodriguez, who is lighting it up, has a good bat, but it looks like he's got a pretty solid arm too.
And then
So
but the thing too is our catcher pipeline. A lot of our guys are blocked. I mean, okay, we got Wells in there, and we got JCR Scar, Mr. Cinderella Man right now. But I mean, before that, Jose Trevino, we traded him. And then, so we traded two of our catching prospects, which is like a crapshoot. We don't know how they're going to turn out. For international free agency money. And then the other one, we traded them for, I don't know, bag of peanuts or something.
I will tell you, one of the crack catchers that we traded away is on the Mets, Luis Torrens. We traded him away for a freaking bag of peanuts, and that dude has been hitting with the Mets. And I watched the two series against the Diamondbacks when the Mets locked up with them. The Diamondbacks have the fastest player in baseball, Corbin Carroll, and Torrens gunned him down twice in the same damn game, actually. And I think he ended up gunning him down another time. So there was no even thoughts, no matter how shitty the pitchers were holding runners on. The guy's got a freaking cannon throwing BBs out there.
Yeah.
All right, I see Jonathan hopping up. So, welcome from California, brother. I hope you enjoyed the game
Thank
with
you.
the Dodgers yesterday. Although I personally wouldn't have been rooting for the Dodgers.
I didn't root for the Dodgers. I just went to the game.
Was it like a mandatory thing? But no, I hope you
It's not a mandatory thing. It was an optional thing, and like even when you're on vacation, you want to see baseball.
Oh yeah.
How's your
No,
vacation going, Jonathan? Anyway,
It's good. It's a little bit cold in the morning, but it's good.
Well,
And
yeah.
I'm only here until Sunday.
good to have you on. I'm glad you
So-
came on.
Yeah, I was awake early today. I don't have
Yeah.
Ken, I don't have your phone number, else I would just send you pictures.
Well,
Well, what was your take on the Mariners series there, Jonathan?
The what? Arius?
Mariners series?
I haven't been listening to the whole conversation. I just popped on.
No, I meant
No.
Sean was
he's asking, what
what
did you think about the Mariners series?
Oh, I was. First of all, I was I wasn't around. I didn't see what happened to Cabrera. I'm sad to hear what happened to him, but overall, the Mariners series was. I like it with the exception of hitting in runners in scoring position in that second game.
Yeah.
right there with you.
I mean, I'm surprised after all this time, the Yankees have not figured out a strategy of how to drive in the ghost runner. And as much as I dislike that rule, you have to make your adjustments, just like when the DH came into the league.
Well, in game two, we had two opportunities with a ghost runner in at second, and we didn't push a run across in either time.
Yeah,
And we actually had a runner at third base with nobody out. But then once again, strikeout, and then
you know what I observed the Yankees are doing since the ghost runner rule all the Yankees are trying to drive them in and on every pitch. They're not. They're in the kitchen. Sorry, I'm not by myself today. This is vacation.
Yeah.
Hey, I totally understand.
All right.
So
I see you. Yeah, I
yeah.
see them. But I mean, the bottom of the 11th in game 2, ghost runner at second, bunt, move the runner to third.
Yeah, yes. And what
Yeah.
about how after you get a guy on third with one out, get just a fly ball? The Yankees, I think the Yankees are doing too much. It's too much in their head.
Yeah, they're pressing too
They're
much.
not playing small ball. They're playing long ball. And if the Yankees stick with the small ball in extra innings, they will have a lot more success.
Or they press and then they got a free swing at every. It's like, no, let them pitch to you. Let that first pitch, whatever. Don't gotta swing at every pitch, but if you see something you like, it hit it.
Yeah.
Because the problem is when you're free swinging, you're either gonna get jammed
Well,
up and it's gonna be infield fly.
if free swinging is what they should they should teach you not to do in the minor leagues. Free swinging is I don't know why. I mean, some parts of me wants baseball to go back to before the steroid era, where you had a lot less strikeouts and a lot more contact.
But no,
I think if baseball wants to become more enjoyable,
going to
it
bring
has
up a real Bill comment. Every team plays under the same rules. We have to adapt and overcome. Oh, my military shit's kicking in.
well, no, Bill.
well,
Bill, you know what? The long and short in combat arms, you train the way you fight.
Right.
And you fight to survive and complete your mission. Well, the mission of these guys is to score freaking runs when they're in scoring position. Long and short during the Seattle series, we went 5 for 33 with runners in scoring position. And most of those came in game 1 when we were beating the tar out of a substandard pitcher. So long and short, we scored 15% of the time with runners in scoring position, and that is sub pitiful.
Yeah. And then you also got the, like Bill was saying, yeah, the long and short, you adapt and overcome. You got to see the battlefield, how it looks whenever you're in the training thing. And I'm saying it in the military. That's what they used to teach us in artillery. You go up to a field problem, before you even start digging in to put the guns in place, you got to look at how it all set up. And then you got to figure out what everyone else is doing, especially when it's a battalion wide and not just your battery. And then when everything else is set up, then you set everything else up, and then you go, do what you got to do. But if you don't have the mindset, then you're going to press.
John the Beagle Dad, that's a line from Heartbreak Ridge. Well, that line is actual application to real world experience.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of military vets here that understand what we're talking about. For you guys that are complete civilians and never had any
But yeah, you know what they say, art imitates real life, or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other question with what's in terms of a learning situation from the series. Why don't the Yankees in batting practice maybe try to have runners in scoring position when people are on bats to at least get the players adjusted to at least a runners in scoring position situation. At least have them have psychological feel to that they're hitting with runners in scoring position. Do you think that could help?
It could help, but I mean a lot of that too could. Why don't they go back to doing batting practices before the games? And it
Yeah,
may
I
They
blow
always
them
do
on
batting practice before the game, but it's just
and fielding
it's
practice.
probably what 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours before the game.
Right, but I mean, in those situations when you're doing batting practice, instead of just having the groups and you're hitting, why not practice situational hitting? Like, hey, we got a runner on second and third, less than 2 outs. How about let's practice bunting? Um, unless your name is Aaron Judge. But yeah,
Well, this is
But
that is the one trouble with analytics. I don't think analytics tells them to do that, and that's why sometimes you have to not listen to analytics.
well,
yes.
if you look at the analytic train, one of the subscriptions is that you never give an out up for free, and basically
Well,
a bunt is
that's the
considered
problem. That
a
I disagree with that. I disagree
yeah.
with the you never give an out for free. Sometimes it's to your advantage to bunt with a runner on second and nobody out, or just
Well,
to
is it
try
is
it's
it better?
just to try to hit the ball to the opposite field instead of bunting, not trying to pull the ball every time.
yeah. Or better yet, why don't you try and aim like for right over the second baseman's head, a little bit above it, not to where you can get it.
Well,
Just hit
the
and
one
run.
the one thing that you could do is to adjust the swing, have a closed up swing, and therefore the ball could be drive the other way. Because if your arms are extended too far, it's usually going to be a pulled ball. If your arms are a little
Yeah.
bit closer to the body, sometimes it goes center or opposite. So
I mean,
that's another adjustment they can do.
yeah. I mean, one of the things I loved when with the '90s and 2000s, that Joe Torre and Don Zimmer were notorious for hit and run.
Yeah,
You got a runner
hit
on.
and run
I mean,
also.
But
it'd
but
be like,
but you're starting to see that come around. Even in this last series, there were at least 3 hit and runs that were successful.
yeah. But I mean, you remember it would be like Knobloch got on, and what did they would do an automatic hit and run. You know, Derek Jeter, or if Jeter got on, Paul O'Neill. It was all. It was just always a hit and run.
All right, we have hit the hour mark, and I'm going to shut the stream down. But before I do, notes. Uh, Jonathan and Sean, please stay on after the stream is stopped so that we can exchange information. Uh, I want to thank everybody who has been here in the stream with us. I like the chat; it was on fire. A lot of good conversations going across the board. I want to thank everybody for jumping up on the panel. Another series of good conversations, things that I didn't really think about talking about before the stream started. So I thank you guys for the different approaches and sharing it with everybody out there. If you haven't done this, please like, subscribe, and share the stream out with other baseball fans, people that you think might find value in the content. Uh, and Sean, final parting thoughts.
Yeah. We just got to keep going. We got a good momentum. Last few series, we're getting better at situational hitting, and being more consistent. We just got to keep it up, and let's go. Let's go for the sweep this series against the Mets. Payback from last year. Let's go Yankees.
CT?
Same thing, what Sean said, we have seen glimpses of or glimmer of hope here with situational hitting. Let's try making that a consistent thing and not be swinging to the fences. Because I know earlier some people were talking about, Jazz coming back, and some people seem really excited about Jazz coming back. I'm a little nervous because if he's going to come back and be swinging for the fences on every swing, I'm not looking forward to that. So, but I think this series coming up against the Mets will be interesting. This should show, I don't know. This will be good. I just hope we can sweep this series. Would be great. But let's take 2 out of 3. So I'll leave it at that.
Jonathan?
Yeah, just I'd like to see more games. You know, exactly what everybody else has said. Situational hitting with runner in position. Don't swing for the fences too much, and get back to playing ball like they did in the 90s. Basically, I I think baseball is more exciting with when not everybody can hit a home run, but when people can just hit with runners in scoring position and keep the game going.
I agree.
All right. And I will end. Actually, I'll say one more thing. Keep your eyes open for notifications. Like I said, tomorrow about 1:30 or so, I'm going to be coming online to do the Yankees Mets pre-series review and follow it with another open panel for some discussion. And we'll be calling the Friday play-by-play also here on Yankees The Ugly Truth. Saturday also here on Yankees The Ugly Truth and on NY Yankee Mania for the Sunday night game. So once again, thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Ken.
Let's go Yankees. And remember, hang out after the stream ends. And I'm calling it quits. We'll see you in the funny papers. Have a great day.